honors us with her presence today. She serves on the board of the North Texas Behavioral Health Authority, and she is quite familiar with community mental health and Child and Family Guidance Center. I turn it over to Dr. Garcia.
Now you know I have to put it down, right? Good afternoon, buenas tardes. It's a pleasure to be with all of you today. We couldn't find a more beautiful day to celebrate 125 years of the Child and Family Guidance Center. You know, I'm delighted to be with all of you today as we do this ribbon cutting. And of course, you know, as a representative of District 4 and this area, I love to see, how we can have an organization with with a big trajectory of 125 years of services to the community. I want to thank, first and foremost, Andy Wolfskill and Diana Rodriguez, and of course, Ms. Carol Lucky, the CEO of the North Texas Behavioral Health Authority. Ms. Carol, I have the honor to working as the vice chair of that organization, and we couldn't do it without the work that all of you do in the front lines. And let me start by saying that an institution that was the first one in the state of Texas and the second one in the United States, means a lot, especially when you know that this organization has those programs that make a difference in the community. And let me just start by saying the Right Care program, for example, developed to divert mental health patients from emergency rooms and from your Dallas County Jail. We all know that the Dallas County Jail at one point has around 5,600 people, of which we know around half of them have some kind of mental needs. That tells you how important an organization like the Child and Family Guidance Center is. The juvenile department, we have almost the same problem. And we know that it's a lot cheaper to provide the services, to provide the prevention, the intervention, and the treatment that to have someone in jail. It's about $40 to $60 to do the prevention and treatment than $80 a day that it costs us to have someone in the Dallas County Jail or juvenile department. So as a community, we know what is the right thing to do, to have organizations like this that divert. And I know diversion is something that has been in the books for a long time, but really have never been implemented the way that the Child and Family Guidance Center has done it. So this is one of the things that we want to prevent when we have people with mental needs. Do not get entangled in the criminal justice system or with the law enforcement agencies. We know that we are better when those contacts do not take place. Now, with that, we all know also that the numbers of need during this pandemic have skyrocketed. Andy mentioned some of those, but we have seen them firsthand, nationally, not only in Dallas, nationally. And I'm going to read some of those numbers because I think when we hear numbers, it always puts it at a different perspective. 9.8% of our youth have severe depression, and the rate is even higher, 12 to 15% among the youth that identifies themselves as more than one race. It's stunning to know that here in these numbers, however, 60% of the youth that have these issues do not get any kind of treatment. And during 2020, the proportion of mental health related emergency department visits among adolescents 12 to 17 years increased about 31% compared to 2019. And attempted suicides, emergency visits were 50% higher among girls 12 to 17 years old, so compared to 2019. So when we look at these numbers, we know that in our own backyard, and I think Diana addressed some of these, here at the Child and Family Guidance Center, we've seen the number of visits skyrocket from 2019 to 2020. 88,000 visits in 2019 compared to 109 in 2020. 109,000 in 2020. And those numbers we know will continue to rise as we go back into the workforce. We also know that mental health issues still have a stigma, especially in the minority community. I know that in the Latino community, you never say anything about anyone needing any kind of treatment or help. Oh, why la tía Maria, well, she likes to be by herself. She really doesn't like people. Don't you dare to say, could she have depression? Could she get some treatment? You don't say those kind of things. And that is why organizations like this are so important. We were talking just a minute ago, Michelle and I, about sometimes you start with one member of the family and eventually the whole family is part of this organization in some kind of treatment. So here at the Child and Family Guidance Center, they know one thing very well, that diversity is our strength. And it shows in their workforce. When you look at the number of their clinical team, 86% of them are bilingual and are bicultural. Speaking different languages is essential if we want to really help, in these kind of services. The families that they serve, 61% identify themselves as people of color, and 31% of them are Latinx, of which a great number of them are Spanish-speaking only. So, as we know, we have some work to do. But let me tell you what is the part that I love about, the Child and Family Guidance Center. In addition to their commitment to diversity, access, affordability, we know we are in a state where, sadly, we have one of the highest number of uninsured people. Their mission is the best. We never turn away a family for services due to an inability to pay. That, my friends, is what they have been here for 125 years, because they have a group of people committed to make a difference in every single part of the community where help is needed. And of course, we already know that more than 80% of the families served in this organization are below the federal poverty level. So as we continue to move forward in this beautiful building with 9 locations, right, Jeff? I get that right, I didn't know. So the future is bright, but we continue to need the people ready to work, ready to volunteer. Thank you to all the volunteers that are here today, ready to put the time and effort and the fundraising to continue to meet our goal. And that is that we do not have people with mental health needs in the community, that we all have the means to help them to re-entry into the community and be productive members of the society. And that is our goal. Muchísimas gracias, es un placer estar aquí con todos ustedes y adelante con esta organización que ha hecho una diferencia no solamente en la ciudad de Dallas, sino en el condado también. Es un placer. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you.